Welcome back, dear students, for the social class. Dear students, in the last class we studied about the salient features of our constitution. So in that part we studied about different salient features which are present in the constitution. Today let us study the independent and centralized judiciary system of our constitution. So our judiciary system is an independent and centralized, and we do not have a state-wise judiciary system, but all the judiciary system is centralized for the entire nation. The courts have the authority to give a bold judgment in order to protect the rights of the people. So neither legislature nor the executive has a right to interfere with the working of the judiciary. So no other wings of the constitution can interfere in the matter of judiciary. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. In India, the Supreme Court is the highest power, and all the other courts functions under the directions which is given by the Supreme Court. And our constitution provides several aspects for the citizens. In the judiciary system, our constitution provides for a single citizenship. We do not have a different citizenship, and each state or each Karnataka or Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh do not have a separate citizenship, and the entire nation we have got for a single citizenship. The constitution makes provisions for a single citizenship in order to curb the narrow-minded provincialism and promote nationalism. Why? Because we need to increase nationalism, as all are one Indians. So in order to increase the nationalism, we have a single citizenship. The citizens of this country have the same rights irrespective of their place of birth or residence. Wherever you reside, we have every person or every citizen have got the equal rights. The legislature possesses the power to frame rules in this matter. The legislature is a wing which makes the rules and regulations on this basis. Then we have a second, adult franchise. So what do you mean by franchise? Adult franchise means the power to cast the vote. The constitution provides for adult franchise. All the citizens above 18 years of age may exercise the right to vote. It symbolizes the sovereign, absolute power of the people. So it provides that each person or each citizen has got a power to elect his own or her own leaders. Then we have a next one, bicameral legislature. We have a two system in the making legislation, that is making laws. And we have in the legislature is called as a parliamentary system. And the parliament consists of two houses. One is lower house and another one is upper house. That is, we call it as a Lok Sabha and a Rajya Sabha. And next we have got a party system. What is a political party system that existing in our country? So the political parties are the pillars of the democracy. So in the democracy we have a different political parties which form the democracy. So there is a multi-party system in India. We do not have a single party or a two party. We have many parties in India. The party which wins the majority of votes in the general election becomes a ruling party, whereas the rest will be the opposition party. The party which wins with the majority votes, then that party will be ruling and other parties will be opposition parties. So these are the some of the independent and centralized judiciary system of our country. Then in our constitution we have the fundamental rights and duties. The fundamental rights and duties. So what are the rights a citizen has got? At the same time, what are the duties a citizen supposed to render towards his country? The fundamental rights provides the social and the political atmosphere necessary for the development of the personality of a citizen. The rights provide for the development of a personality of every citizen in India. So they are required for a person to lead a civilized life in the society. So the rights are necessary to lead the life of a civilized in the society. They are also essential for the success of democracy. If a democracy, in this democratic country, we should have these fundamental rights. So there were 7 fundamental rights mentioned in the third part of our constitution in the beginning. After the 44th amendment, the rights to property has been abolished. We removed the rights of the property, and now there are only 6 fundamental rights at present. To what are the fundamental rights? The rights to equality, rights to freedom, rights against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, then cultural and educational rights. The last one is right to constitutional remedies. Now let us study about one by one in detail. The first one is a right to equality. So this right is very essential for the success of democracy. So under this, all citizens are equal socially and economically before the law. Whether you are poor, whether you are rich, all are equal before the law. If any of these person makes mistake, and he is punishable, whether he is poor, whether he is rich, all are equal before the law, and nobody is above the law. The law is highest, and everyone, even the person who amends or makes the law, is below the law. So all should get equal protection of the law, and none should be discriminated against on the basis of their caste, religion, gender, or a place of birth. So no one should be discriminated on any of these points, whether he is on the religion, on the caste, on the gender, or a place of birth, and all are equal in India. No citizen should be subjected to any restrictions with regard to access to shops, public restaurants, hotels, places of public entertainment, or public places of worship. So all are equal, whether you are a Hindu, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, everyone has got the right to enter any of these places. No places should be restricted. So this right has enabled every citizen to get an equal opportunity to join government services. Everyone can join in the government services. The second one is right to freedom. So every person is a free person. So it is one of the important fundamental rights. Under this, right, one who expresses his own opinion, to conduct meetings without arms, to establish organizations, to live anywhere in India, and to follow any profession and move around the country. It is a protective right also, and no one can be arrested without a proper reason. No state law can snatch the life and freedom of a citizen. So here we understand that no right shall impose on a particular person without reason. The person who is born in any part and he can live in any part of India, he can go anywhere and he can follow any profession and he can live however he wants without the harming of other person. The third one is right against exploitation. The aim of this right is to prevent exploitation of a women, child, the poor and the weak. So here there is a tendency of the rich makes use of the poor. The strong makes use of the weaker section. So in order to prevent this, we have a right against exploitation. Nobody should be exploited for any reason. So begging, the devadasi system, the practice of a sati, immoral activities and forced labor have been prohibited. All this should not be there because these are below the human dignity. See, employment of children under 14 years of age in mining, industries and other dangerous occupations is punishable under the law. So that's to children, those who are below 14 years, if they are working in any sectors, and the employers are punishable. Not the child who is working, but the person who is making use of that particular child is punishable. Then let us see right to freedom of religion. Since we do not have a national religion, our nation is a secular country. Ours is a secular country, so no religion has been given the status of a national religion. As a result, the citizens can accept any religion that their conscience dictates or practice it and propagate it. No one can be forced to pay taxes for the management of religious institutions and the use of religious places for political and other activities has been prohibited in the country. So which means the person can follow any religions without the fear. If he thinks that he wants to follow a particular religion, he can change from the previous religion. So no one or no law can punish the person. Then let us see cultural and educational rights. Cultural and educational rights. So all citizens of the country have their own language, script and culture. It is a duty of the state to protect them. This right protects the interests of religious and linguistic minorities. No one can be denied admission in the government-aided institutions or institutions run by minorities. So any child can take place or get education in any institutions, and no institution shall deny the entry of a particular students. So these are some of the rights, and let us continue the sixth right, the right to constitutional remedies in the next class. Thank you, dear students.